What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Want to take a minute to thank all of our wonderful sponsors who support the show. So please take a listen and support the people who support the show. This episode of Like It or Not is sponsored by CH Peptides, a trusted source for high-quality research peptides like tirzepatide, BPC157, and IGF-1LR3. With fast shipping, consistent purity, and top-tier service, CH Peptides keep things simple and reliable. Want to learn more or book an appointment? Just call or text 707-380-6411. Tell them your boys from Like It or Not sent you, and you get 15% off your order. You can also order at chpeptides.com and enter Like It or Not at checkout for 15% off your order. So do not delay. Call today. That's CH Peptides. Products are for research use only, not intended for human or animal use. Complete Health Peptides makes no claims or promises regarding the effects of any product. This episode of the podcast is sponsored by The Thirsty Axe, Ukiah's axe throwing and music venue for all. Every Wednesday night, trivia night. Every Thursday night, karaoke night. And on the weekends, DJs and bands, with a comedy show coming up later this month on November 21st. Guys, you got to go to thirstyaxe.com to check out their schedule of events and get your tickets in advance for all the fun things they got going on there. You can stop by and play pool, get yourself a drink or a grilled cheese sandwich, throw some axes, hang out with friends. It's a great place to be. That's the Thirsty Axe. This episode of the podcast is also sponsored by DC Customs. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a project. I know you do. You have some tires that need to be replaced. You have a roof rack you've been meaning to buy. You want to lift your rig. You want that brand new thing that's going to make you be able to crawl over that huge obstacle in your life. DC Custom has the solution with a well-trained, knowledgeable staff that's there to serve you and make your projects come to life. Follow them on Instagram for a little taste of what they do. That's DC Customs Ukiah on Instagram. Or you can go by their shop located on North State Street right here in Ukiah. That's DC Customs. Want to tell you about our friends over at Thompson Construction. That's ktompsonconstruction.com. Thompson Construction is an excavating and grading general engineering contractor based out of Ukiah, California. At Thompson Construction, they love what they do and they take the utmost pride in their work and customer satisfaction with great attention to detail. No job too big or too small. Do you have a project you've been putting off? Well, give them a call today, 707-391-7679. They are OQ certified for PG&E excavation and backfill, swimming pool excavation, concrete flatwork, subgrade, asphalt, paving, all sorts of things, road construction and maintenance. You know, they do it all, ladies and gentlemen. So give them a call today, 707-391-7679. That's Thompson Construction. My name is Carter Lane.
I'm Drew Nickel.
Welcome to the show. Oh my God. I think you have a problem, bro. Big problem.
Wrong with you. Bro, you got problems.
You got big problems,
bro.
Drew.
You're cooked, bro.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Drew, how the hell you been, dude?
Long time no see, amigo. Hermano.
Dude, we just never see each other anymore. This is crazy.
Yeah, I miss you when I don't see you.
I miss you too, bro.
Yeah, we can hold hands like we used to in Korea.
Yeah.
Remember Korea?
Always.
Just kidding. I see you like every day, dude.
I know. I'm sick of you, dude.
The last 5 days, I've seen you 4.5.
Which is way too much for me. Do you know what's crazy is that I used to hear about how you were doing from my mom because you spent so much time because you guys are partners in the real estate thing.
Yeah.
Because I never used to see you, and then now she hears about you from me because we hang out so much.
Funny how things
as
change.
It should be.
As it should be.
As it should be now.
Your best friend hangs out with your mom
all the time, dude. It was really strange for quite a few years.
Like, I'm not sure how I feel about this, dude. Yo, mama.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome back to another episode, ladies and gentlemen. With us today, we have very special guests and good friends that we've known for a long time. Ferd and Tracy Terriot from CrossFit Firefly.
Hey, you guys.
What
So
up?
good to be here.
on?
But I got to throw down for your mom because she is awesome.
My mom?
Yeah.
Oh, you hang out with her more?
I do. I get
Me
to
too.
see her at least once a month. But
That's right. You guys do bunko together.
yes, we do, which
That's
is hilarious.
awesome.
And grandma and the sisters. I get the whole family once a month.
There you go.
That's awesome. So what's up, guys?
You guys probably
are,
see each other more than most married couples see their spouses.
I think you guys
yeah.
see each other more than we see each
People
other.
might start talking.
Yeah, they already do.
Plenty of people have been talking for a long time.
You know what I say? Let them talk.
Talk.
Talk. Yeah, exactly. Bonnie Raitt style.
So you guys are celebrating 10 years of CrossFit.
10 years. 10 years.
Really?
I can't.
First
That's what I said.
I didn't have gray hair when I started this whole project.
CrossFit
No, you had
Firefly's
no
been
hair.
open for 10 years.
Yeah, you know what? We've been 10 years since Ferd got his L1 and went off on his own and had a few people say, we want to train with you in the garage. And then, and I think Carter was one of the first people, but you training with us was really you guys working out,
Yeah.
if you remember. So Ferd and Carter were training buddies for a while, and then a few other people were like, we want to do that. And 10 years later, we got a presence in downtown, and
So I'm gonna say it's been 10 years since we affiliated with CrossFit. It's been
Yeah.
11 years
Okay.
since we did the L1.
yes.
And Carter and I were messing with barbell shrugged.
Yeah, that's right.
Is what we were doing.
That's
we
right.
were doing barbell shrugged then.
What's that?
In your
is,
teeny little garage where you could only have the weights overhead
was
one or two places.
It was another group of podcast dudes
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
who swore a whole. They all they were is this one cuss word after another, but they wrote a great training program.
Great training program and, great athletes, and they're still out there kicking it all individually, doing their own things and influencing the, health and fitness and CrossFit world. Yeah. Yeah. They're doing great.
I remember doing warm-ups in the room right next to the garage.
Oh, right. With the fireplace.
Yeah.
And
Freezing cold.
But it was warmer than
Early in
it
the
was warmer
morning.
than the garage was. The garage was really cold.
Oh my god.
you just brought back the days of fully seeing your breath in the middle of a workout or steam off the sweat of the body.
Totally. I'd pull up in my car and be like, what am I doing? It's freezing cold.
Yeah, then you get warm.
That was so rad,
and,
dude.
and you barely break a sweat through your 3 layers of wool clothes,
Your
and
long johns.
sweatshirts and long johns and gloves and shit. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, 2 places. So with the garage door closed, you could lift overhead at one end of the power rig. You could lift overhead in between 2 air ducts to the side of the power rig, and you could lift overhead at the front, but you had to open the bathroom door so that if you had to bail out from your barbell, you could roll into the bathroom.
Yep.
Because the space between the rig and the wall was so tight.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
which-
if you were going to snatch or something, you had to actually make sure you opened the door. So you had a
Dude, I
place
remember that.
So you had a place to go. And then you had 3 feet into the bathroom before you hit the sink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
That was
And
awesome.
this was before
that was a
I was
special
training.
place. That was a special
And,
place.
yeah, before I was training, but I remember walking down there with Carson in my arms.
Yeah.
And you guys would be alternating stuff with chains hanging from the bar and whatever weird, progressive, heavy, or fast get under the bar cleans and everything you could right on that one platform with the bathroom right behind
Yep.
you.
Yeah. That was rad. How long were we in that garage for? Was it a year?
It was over a year.
Over a year.
It was over a year. It was. It started the spring of Carson was born 2013.
I think it was close to 2 years.
2015. We
Garage.
started in the spring of 2015. We affiliated in October of 2015, November of 2015, sorry.
Yeah.
And then we moved out of there into the construction site.
Yep, which you
the-
came
where
with us
the
on
new,
that journey.
The new home is. Yeah, we were in the garage for about a year and a half to 2 years.
Okay.
Then we moved into the construction site, which had its own special flavor.
I liked that place a lot.
I love that place. And I loved what it was like in that
so
day.
dirty.
The funky blue wall with the nails all coming out of it. and
Yeah, dude.
The old crappy plywood wall. And
Yeah,
the
and a
the backgrounds
big-
were beautiful.
And a big plastic sheet going down, separating the 2 rooms at
Well,
at
we
one
had to do
point.
that,
So they
right?
were doing construction on one side. We were working out on the other side.
And we needed a little heat containment.
oh
Yeah, it was
that's
the
right.
heat containment. Yeah, for sure. And then we put the
Dude.
power rig. Remember, we moved the power rig in there, and we put it in the one spot that the freaking roof leaked. So then we had to put the plywood on top of it so you didn't drip on you if you were inside.
It was industrial, dude.
It was very industrial.
Dude, so me and Drew actually got into CrossFit at the same time because we fucked around and signed up for a Spartan race. And it was like in 3 months, you know, we're going to do this Spartan race. And we were like, how are we going to get in shape for the Spartan race? And it was just when CrossFit, you starting to hear about CrossFit. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember. Now that you brought it up. I'm
And
like,
we went
oh,
and
yeah.
signed up at the local gym and went through the month long or whatever it was training.
Yeah, that was conditioned at the time, right?
Yeah.
Condition Republic or something like that.
Yeah.
I think I met
But
you
that's
there.
where we
Yeah.
met
That's where it
first.
was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's where you met Ferd.
Yes.
I don't think I
That's where
realized
it all
that.
began.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were like, who is this crazy guy that wants to do more after these workouts? And it was fucking Ferd.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I was just impressed by the fur sweater. You were like wearing a sweater even when you weren't.
It's merino wool, dude. It's only the highest. It's alpaca. I alpaca it everywhere I go.
Pendleton doesn't have shit on that.
Get it right, dude.
Alpaca is the new like high end quality, like wool.
Yeah, totally.
And
He
You can
keeps warm.
spin it into silver.
it came with the curls. Testosterone's amazing. When you turn like 13 and all of a sudden you're shaving your head and shaving your face and your fucking hair changes color and changes shape and everything else. And
Yeah.
I remember my first chest hair, Drew.
I was gonna say, when was that? You probably gave your mom rug burn.
hey,
Did you name it?
Look, you're giving me shit for wearing a goddamn sweater. You're going to hear the story. So
Ferg gave his mom rug burn, dude.
look, back in the 70s, you kid,
He's getting
flannel shirts were a big thing.
Yeah.
But you unbutton your flannel shirt all the way down to your belly button, right? That was the cool thing to do. And my dad said, you never unbutton your shirt unless you have hair on your chest. And you can be sure I checked every freaking day.
You wanted to look.
And
wanted to look.
the minute those first 1, 2, 3 hairs popped out, my buttons were open.
Came off. Huh?
I was badass.
Yes, dude.
I had 3 hairs, and no one was going to touch them.
Yeah.
And now I have like 3 million.
And no one's going to touch him.
And people touch them all the time, man.
Whether they want to or not.
Yeah. They're like, is that real?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, pet me, babe.
So, but I want people to hear why you got into CrossFit, Ferd, because I think it's a cool story. So tell us what was going on in your life and what made you get into it.
Well, Tracy was pregnant with child number 3, and we were living on the coast.
How old were you?
Got to do math.
Yep.
Was it
47.
46?
46 or 7?
Yeah.
47. Well, probably 46. No, 47. 46.
Okay.
It was back then. 46 or 47.
Okay.
How old am I now?
I was 42, so you were 46.
He's turning 12. I was 47.
Okay.
And so we were on the coast. Tracy, we were having a home birth. They wanted to be closer to a hospital, so her grandmother's house was available for rent. We moved in August 1st. Tracy wanted to move for 3 months, have the baby, move back to the coast. And I said, I'm not moving anyplace for 3 months. It just felt exhausting thinking about it. And so we moved, and I was drinking a whole bunch, which was not
with alcohol?
with alcohol. Yes, not water. Not water. It was not water. I was really good at it. And then, so we moved. I thought it would be a great opportunity to clean up my act, which I needed to do because child number 3 was coming and it was going to steamroll me. So I started going to the health club. I was scrambling eggs one morning and I could felt my whole belly was shaking and I was like, oh my God, I feel gross. I just felt gross. I was like, I need a different body. I need to be a different person. And so I went to the health club. That became super boring really quickly. And the guy at the front desk, Sam, whatever his name is.
Sammy.
Oh, Sammy Saunders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I blame him for this a
So
lot. I harass him.
I haven't seen him since I left, but I said, dude, I need a boxing coach. I need something different because this is boring as hell. And I was spending 2.5 hours in the health club and I didn't know what the fuck to do. And so he sent me up to Condition Republic, which was impossible to get into and contact them. So I just showed up at the class one day ended up in their on-ramp program. So 12 one-hour classes. After class number 1, I was like, I knew that was exactly what I needed.
What'd you love about it?
It was 1 hour. It was focused, and it kicked my ass. And progress was almost immediate. And one thing that was great is, so my strategy was take the earliest class in the morning because I wouldn't drink as much the night before because I knew I'd feel like shit. That worked, and then their on-ramp program was at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was going to the health club at like whatever it was, 4:45 or some stupid hour. But going to Condition Republic 3 days a week, like it totally took care of me. I was sore. I felt great. Like my appetite changed. I didn't want alcohol at all and literally stopped. Like I just dropped dead, stopped it. I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. And immediately it was just a on-ramp to having a better life. And I started 1 week after Carson was born, that on-ramp program. And I finished it, and I was like, great, now what? They're like, well, you can come to class tomorrow. I said, great. And I didn't miss, I was 6 days a week. Boom, instantly. And that was it. You know, that was it. It just changed. But they were kind of an anti-CrossFit box.
Yeah.
Like the workouts were great, but they were not pro CrossFit.
Well, and they weren't affiliated.
They weren't affiliated. They didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, there was no
what were they doing
methodology.
down there then?
What
were they doing?
Going
Yeah.
rogue?
Yeah, going rogue, being grassroots. I mean,
They were riding off
great.
the wave. They were riding the wave.
Yeah. Okay.
So, did you notice any changes, like mentally or spiritually, because of these workouts?
I was much clearer. Yeah, mentally way more clear. I mean, well, you know, I mean, if you clean out your body, you clean out the toxins in your body, and you know the body responds. I mean, you definitely think about things more clearly, process information better. My body felt better. I just felt better.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like I was a better human being.
Yeah.
I began making better choices, like immediately, what to put in my body because there's an immediate effect when you go into the gym. You know, if you're doing a 1 hour of a high intensity workout, then you know if your nutrition's off, you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it right away. And so, yeah, I mean, it had a big effect.
Yeah.
For sure.
I ask that because I know for me, like a super strenuous workout is almost like nothing else in terms of mental health. It's like there's something about pushing yourself really hard for a period of time and doing things that you don't think you can do, or that your brain's telling you, hey, I'm going to stop. You need to stop. We need to stop. You know, all that stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
And being able to push past that and stick to the programming and stick to the workout. And then you get to the end of it. It really, really helps for me mentally, you know?
Well, there's these great like biologic processes, right? Like the way a muscle builds, you break down the fiber. The fiber grows, builds back up, your muscles get bigger. I mean, that's simplifying it.
Yeah.
But that kind of resilience response is born into us. And you see it repeat, like the mental health you're talking about. It's like, yeah, you go down, you go face yourself in that class. You might challenge yourself to do something you didn't think you could do. Maybe you haven't done it in decades. Maybe it's jump roping, right? Like we were all kids. We kind of jumped rope at one point, but you go into a CrossFit gym and you're jumping rope and you're like, wow, I haven't done this in decades. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah.
And what do you learn? You learn resilience. Like you break yourself down, you look at yourself, you achieve something every day. And mentally the effect that has on our growth and our centeredness in ourselves and our trust in ourselves and what we can take on in the world changes.
Totally.
Well, it's important to do hard things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just look around you. Everyone's like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get up from the couch, dude. Like, I can't wait for 18 seconds for somebody to return a text. I mean, it's like, people don't wait for anything anymore. Like, there's nothing, people don't do anything hard. You know, you got to like challenge yourself. Yeah. And it's 1 hour. It's a great challenge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it shows up throughout your day. right? Throughout your life and throughout your day, if you're on this routine, in this routine of doing hard things, overcoming hard workouts, especially, you notice the difference like throughout your day.
Yeah, a lot of things seem easier throughout the day, or your energy changes. So you still have energy at 3 when, I don't know about you guys, but that's like my dip time. I want to take a nap or something. But if I've worked out hard that day, I still have energy at 3 and I'm still like facing what's coming at me in a pretty good, you know, pace.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a different example. Let's take a teenager who, like, maybe they're not like, you know, the big man on campus or something, or they get teased a little bit. They come and they start doing CrossFit. They start doing things that their friends aren't doing. They start building strength. They start going like, whoa, I can do that? What happens? Their confidence grows. Then they get bullied, and what do they think? Hey, you know what? I'm actually a good person. I can actually do stuff that you can't do. Not that it has to be a physical confrontation or anything, but they're self-confident, right? They're going to start walking differently. They're going to start thinking about themselves differently.
Yeah.
It makes a huge impact. It can make a huge impact. And you don't have to be 15 years old. You could be 50 years old.
Totally.
And it can change the way you think about yourself and the way you carry yourself through life. Like, no way, man, I can take this on because I do hard things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
I
could
succeed.
amazing
And then it's
people.
different every day, right? So your workout's different all the time. So not only are you doing hard things, but you're learning something new all the time. You're always learning something new. You know, even seasoned CrossFit athletes are learning new things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You always get put in that beginner mind and get the opportunity to learn it. We had recently one of my new members. I always say they're my favorites, but everyone that walks in the gym, I'm like, oh, you're my favorite. But this great woman, I want to say she's in her 70s. I don't remember right now, but avid gardener, knows so much amazing stuff about the body, about gardening. She's just kind of been putting herself through her own paces at home, comes into CrossFit. She's always thought she was a discombobulated mover and that she didn't have smart proprioceptive intelligence, like she didn't pick up movement well. She is a great mover. And like watching her just as a coach saying to her, wow, you picked that up really quick. Like you squat really well. Like what have you been doing that you are preserving that function at your age in life? She goes, I don't think I'm a very good mover. Really? You think I'm doing okay? And every week, you know, every day she comes back and she tackles it again and learns new movements and she's throwing barbells around and, you know, it's all new to her and she's starting to trust herself that like, wow, maybe this story I've had my whole life that I'm not a good mover and that I don't learn well and that I don't move, you know, quickly. All of a sudden she's countering all of that at her age. And she's like, wow, this is awesome.
That's rad.
Yeah, it's amazing.
At like 70 years old.
Yeah, I think she's 77.
Dude, we have a legends class, and the people in there are like, we've got people who are like, wow, I'm getting way stronger.
Legends.
Legends and rebels, dude.
Yeah,
Legends and
we're
rebels.
starting to call them legends and rebels because
Legends
they
and
are.
rebels. No, it's
Sign me
amazing.
up for that class.
It's a good class, and we say it's 55 and up, but it's really open to everybody.
Yeah.
And we have people of all capacities, levels, dealing with all kinds of stuff, whether they're new movers or maybe they're dealing with something out of physical therapy or, you know, and we collaborate
rad.
with Billy Benz from Mendocino Physical Therapy. So it's great to have that aspect and knowledge in the room. But it is, if you guys want to see an inspiring class, come someday from 2 to 3 and like kick it with this group of people.
And then the other thing about it, right, is you've got this great social atmosphere. So you've got these group classes, people come together. If you go to the same class, you get to know people. Then there's all kinds of shenanigans that start happening. People make new friends. You've got something in common, which is that you're choosing to do hard things. And, you know, there's a great endorphin release. So you really start getting close to the people you're with. And that doesn't matter if you're a teenager, it doesn't matter if you're midlife, and it doesn't matter if you're in your 70s. You're making new friends and you're going like, wow, man, check this out. I mean, our legends and rebels are fist bumping and like, I mean, they're like a tight class.
Can I read
These guys
one
have become
from-
a great group of people and they love coming together to be together.
Yeah, this is
And
this is
all
one of
walks,
our
all walks of life.
This is from one of our new Legends and Rebels. And honestly, I haven't even read this full thing. So this just came in today and I'm going to like reveal it right here.
Fire away.
So hi, Tracy and Ferd. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for being a part of changing my life. In just the few weeks I've been coming to CrossFit, few weeks, right? I think it's been a month for this member. I weigh less than I've weighed in decades. My clothes are falling off me. I have successfully weaned off antidepressants. I went from deadlifting 20 pounds a month ago to 65 today. We just did a 1-rep PR yesterday. I ran a mile downhill at Low Gap Park. With Billy's help, I'm healing my podiatry issues. I've found a welcoming, non-judgmental, supportive community where I feel supported for being exactly who I am. I've learned a shit ton about my body and how to improve my strength and overall health. And I haven't even gone in the sauna or the cold plunge yet.
You're doing it wrong.
I look forward to every session, and I can't wait until I can organize my life and finances so I can come in more often. I could go on, but that's a lot.
Wow.
It's great.
That's so cool. How's that make you guys feel?
Wow, I
like
that
crying all the
that was a
time.
big drop, man. I'm almost like,
No,
I'm
I'm
tearing
sorry.
up. I'm like, geez. I mean,
What is this moisture in my eye?
what is this? God.
Yeah, and this woman is
I mean, that stuff
Just
is
fantastic.
like, I mean, that's amazing, right?
Yeah.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and so in this class, so they actually have a tendency to tell us these things, amazing things. At the beginning of class, it was a month ago or 5 weeks ago, woman comes in, I'm sitting at the front desk, very petite gal, late 60s, early 70s, not sure, but very petite. Comes in and she's just like glowing. She's like, oh my God, I got to tell you. I'm like, tell me. She says, I had a friend over who twice my size. She goes, and what did she do? She passed out, right? Hit her head, something. She's like, she passed out, I caught her. She landed. We had to get her to the emergency room. She goes, I actually helped her out of my house, into my car, got her to the emergency room and into the emergency room. She goes, this woman's like twice my size. She goes, I never would have been able to do that if I hadn't come in here. She goes, I felt so strong and capable. She goes, I wasn't afraid of picking her up and going.
Wow.
I was like, wow. And I'm just like, holy smokes.
Functional
Like,
fitness.
can you
huh?
leave the building? Can you leave the building and come in again and let me turn on a recorder? Because I need all of that. Like, I need it right, verbatim with your expression and everything. I mean, it was crazy.
That's
I couldn't
awesome.
believe it.
Yeah.
And she was just like floating on the planet. She wasn't even, feet weren't even on the ground.
So was
God
this,
damn.
was
She was
this-
amazed at herself.
Yeah.
And then I was amazed at her. I was like, that's
You're
incredible.
all here, catch me.
yeah.
It's incredible. It's
You
incredible.
can
It's
help me.
incredible.
I feel better about you being in the world because I know, right? You're gonna get me.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like,
catching
that's the
people
whole
or carrying
community.
people with dead weight is hard.
Yeah.
really hard.
It is.
Have you seen those videos of the girls
Yes.
trying to fire carry pick up their husbands?
Yes.
And they just get stuck.
Oh, where they roll them over and they like try to flip them over.
They just end up under their husband.
The husband's
hella
thinking like, way more. She can't pick me up.
Yeah. So was this your guys' vision when you thought that you wanted to open a CrossFit gym in downtown Ukiah? Is this what you have envisioned?
Yeah, I
10
will
years
say.
ago when you're starting this journey?
Oh, maybe not 10 years ago, but when we decided to plant it, right? Like out of the garage, out of the warehouse, I guess when we bought the building and decided to really go for it, we wrote a mission statement and it's still pretty true to this day. And it was, mostly about empowering and creating an environment for families and our community to strengthen themselves, to be more resilient and participating members of our community. And I think that still rings true about, it's just that this is the vehicle of helping people.
It's a beautiful building.
Thank you.
Yeah, it really is.
Thank you.
It wasn't.
It was not.
Oh boy, man.
So
was a sketch scene.
What a shithole that place
is the
was.
city of Ukiah just like thanking you every single day for turning one of our ugly buildings
Absolutely not.
into a wonderful
How
hub for
was
people to improve their lives and get stronger and
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
not
for the
once.
value that you guys have brought to this town and especially downtown where we see these empty buildings everywhere.
No, to be transparent and I will say publicly, like, don't talk about it a lot, but no, not once. And if anything, they hindered the process so badly that it took way too long to do it. It's amazing we even stuck in with wanting to remodel that building, given what we went through with the city.
We almost abandoned the project.
Multiple times, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember those days.
Yeah.
Because the city was just so difficult to work with.
The city was awful to work with. I hate to give a bad rap because I do work with them pretty closely on different things and, value the relationship that I have with them. But in terms of the planning and building, I don't see any real improvements about working with local citizens who really want to invest in our town and turn some of these buildings into something that could be, really beautiful and actually maintained and
It's really a problem.
Inhabited.
It's really becoming a serious issue.
It is. Well, and you're talking about a building for us. So having grown up here and deciding to plant it in town, we looked extensively of where to go, or when we're going to do this, where do we want to be? We didn't intend to buy a building and remodel it. But my building background as a contractor, and Ferd and I ran that business for a long time. It felt like a good give back in the community. We had no idea when we took it on.
So that was one of your pieces for deciding where to build this business. Was that I'm from here, this would be really cool for the town. I'm attached to it emotionally and all that stuff. That was a reason.
Yeah, right? I mean, in that year of staying in Ukiah and then for developing this whole new, path into health and fitness, we decided to stay in Ukiah. And we did. We looked all over. I mean, south of town, north of town. We looked at tons of buildings, leasing spaces, all kinds of stuff. And when this one came up on the market, it was a big question for us whether we wanted to own it and remodel. But it made so much sense. Come on, let's put health and fitness at the center of town. Mm-hmm. Let's frankly revitalize a block. That one block off the downtown district was crap. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty shady. The back of this parking lot was plenty of, drugs and transients and feces and needles and all kinds of stuff happening down Seminary and the bushes. This whole little area was a problem. And so when
you're 2 blocks 2 blocks south of Alex Thomas Plaza.
Yeah,
right?
2 blocks south. So we're, Seminary and Mill. We're in that little end block, the last block of Southern School Street before it dead ends into Mill. And so it felt like a give back to the community. It felt like something to give back. Little did we know that when we would go to inquire and apply for our, permit, that it was the number one ugliest building on the design review board's list, and the one that had been there the longest, that they had been hoping somebody would come along and take it on.
They popped the champagne and they said, "Thank you very much for taking on this. We're
let's
so
charge
excited."
you thousands of dollars.
So
more
one would
do
think
for the privilege of renewing this downtown. And since then, I will say, not necessarily trying to toot the horn, but in any development, it takes an anchor, property or business or something to start revitalizing a whole area. We've seen every single business clean up on Seminary Street, which is all of our neighbors. Mm-hmm. We have a great collaboration with the cleaner. We've planted a little garden in the shared parking lot space, and they keep their place a little cleaner. And every building behind them to the west has completely turned over, remodeled, repainted, replastered, taken a lot more pride in the businesses around there.
So how long was it from the time that you bought the building to the time you opened the doors?
4 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Jesus.
So it was 4 years. And
And I will say it was 4 years, and it was a good 2.5 to 3 years of intensive process with the city. We did shut it down within the first year on our own when we realized that we couldn't get the functionality out of the space as it existed. And a good friend of mine, architect that I'd collaborated with for a long time, came and in 15 minutes was like, "Well, to get what you guys want, you need to extend it and add on." So everything
right.
on School Street back is actually a new building that's combined.
Good.
Well, I was going to talk about the question from Doug Crane to you that really
But
shifted it.
what happened? Is that a
Don't worry about
is that a flying saucer coming
Yeah.
in? Or,
Yeah, aliens.
So what happened is we had a plan for the existing building, and each locker room was going to have its own sauna. Okay. Then we had another space in that building that was going to have a unisex handicap bathroom with a shower in it and everything. So you'd be in the bathroom, you'd have a shower, little deal.
Yeah, you could lock it, have your private shower.
Yeah. Figuring that we probably wouldn't have too many wheelchairs and stuff coming in, but we had a space for it. We
Too
had
many wheelchairs.
we have our
We get some.
yeah, totally, you know, but it was a big space.
They climb a lot of rope.
Amazing.
And so the city said, no, you can't have a unisex handicap bathroom. You have to have one in each locker room. You have to have a toilet, you have to have a men's handicap toilet and a women's handicap toilet in the locker rooms. They can't have their own space. It's not in the locker room. And so that took away the saunas. And that was a hard one to actually swallow, but we were like, okay, da-da-da-da.
So 2 saunas had to go for each person so that you could put
They could put in a handicap toilet.
And then
right?
did the city claim that was state law or because that's what they seem to always kind of run to.
Right.
And
This
hide
is the way it
behind.
goes. Well, there's a lot of that, right? They have the ability to actually like make decisions, but that was their hard line. So we changed that. So then we're waiting for the concrete pour, right? We had everything cut out, waiting for a concrete truck, and it didn't show up when it was scheduled to show up.
That's right.
And I'm like, something's wrong because concrete trucks fucking show up. If you order concrete,
Yeah,
they
they're on a
come.
schedule.
They come.
Full of concrete.
And it didn't come. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So yeah, then we changed course and was like, okay.
Well, why
just
didn't it come?
put on the brake? You know what?
It's still a random thing.
It
and
didn't come
we
because
sat there.
we needed to change direction.
Yeah, we sat there with
Right.
our contractor at the time, this great guy.
It meant
and,
to be.
And we said, how is this going for you? Because our perception is that like something is off. And he goes, man, there's been so many times I've been like, I don't know if we should do it this way. And I don't think the current architect is steering us in the right direction. And you guys are losing so much functionality. And that was all it needed, was that simple conversation. And we looked at him and we went, we're putting it on hold. And then we went back to the drafting board. And at some point we had great meetings with Crane to see like, do we do a tilt-up building? Do we work with you guys? But Doug Crane asked this fantastic question. And he just looks at Ferd, he goes, something's not sitting with you right. What's poking you in the head? I think he said.
Yeah.
Like, what's getting you right
What's
here? Like,
poking you?
something's off. And that simple question really helped Ferd articulate, like, wow, we're losing everything that we wanted out of this
Just go
place.
straight to the checkbook from there on out, baby.
Yeah. Yeah. But we built it all back in, and
Yeah.
you know, no regrets. The building.
So
it
you
was an
you meant
awful
that little by
project.
little, all these really cool things that you wanted to have in your gym were getting removed so
Yeah.
that you could
Right. So we
appease
could get
the
going.
laws
So
and-
we could get
Because they had to
going.
spend money on shit they didn't want in their gym.
And then
Yeah, we
and
were
the-
losing almost like a third of the gym floor space.
Yeah,
By
totally.
the time we
Yeah.
were like meeting
Yeah.
code, and then we're like, well, we might as well just go back to the garage. Like, forget opening this business. Home gym was great, man. Donation, people coming, we want to be there. Who cares if the space is funky? Like, forget it. But it really bugged us to like have this building and not try to do something good. And so that's going back to the drawing board and then just fighting it out. You know, as a contractor for 10 years in weird esoteric specialties who's worked all over the nation and Canada and Mexico and other places, this was the worst by far building department I've ever worked with. And I won't do another project here, sadly.
I mean, that's the real sad thing.
That-
It's like the process was so difficult that we won't
Invest
do
again
that.
in
We won't do
building.
that again in this town,
yeah.
which is a bummer,
Yeah.
right? Because if they were a little more business friendly, there'd probably be a lot
sure
of
you
construction, and there'll probably be a lot of positive things happening in the town as far as construction and empty buildings getting occupied. And I mean, you know, there's so much they could do to move things forward in a positive direction.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, they could. So the city of Reno offered. There's a one area town that they wanted to improve. They go, we got $1 million. You guys need a project to move your business forward. You need a new parking lot. You need a new fryer for your restaurant. You need what? We'll match you 50. We'll put up. You put up half. We'll put up half. Million bucks.
Incentivizing people to make it nicer.
And
Yep.
Instead of deterring them from building.
totally. And you can't afford, right? There's not space for whatever, let's just say a handicap bathroom in your space. Great. Let's try to make it work for you so that we can actually get your business going, even if it's not going to be like to the letter of the code or something, because they have that, they can do that.
Yeah.
They can do stuff like that. Right.
I mean, I could give you a concrete example from ours. Or do you wanna finish
So
that?
that's one thing they could do.
Yeah.
You know,
There's also just a lot of simple things like, we battled all the way to the end on just our driveway easement, and in code, right? There's a lot of code, but part of the code is that code inspectors can interpret the code based on current prevailing standards in your geographic region, in your area. So at one point, the engineer had a real desire that all driveways and sidewalks would be more uniform. And if you walk down our block on School Street, like part of that sidewalk is really narrow and only room for one person. Then it widens out. There's room for two people. It's totally inconsistent. But he was holding us to the fire on conforming to his design, even though our design we think was better. And all the way up until our planning commission meeting, which is, right, you get approved or you get denied or you get sent back to the drawing board. That morning, our whole team assembled. I stopped meeting with the city one-on-one. Every time I met with them, I would have my architect, contractor, and any subs that I needed in the room. And so we're meeting, and this engineer holds it. He's like, I'm going to tell them no on your design for the easement, right, into the driveway. And I go, you go ahead, I'll take my chances. And he starts talking about his boss, who's Tim Erickson, the engineer. And I called Tim on the cell phone. I said, hey, you want to stop in here for a minute? And he stops in, and in the meeting, he just said, hey, we've already been over this. I told you if they really push it, you're going to have to accept this design because it does conform to other designs in the city, right? And so at the last moment, he withdrew his protest to get us to do it his way. All of that could have been prevented. A lot of money, time, everything could have been saved if he accepted that the design we were putting forward was a good design, wasn't necessarily the one he wanted, but it worked for this situation.
He's not the motherfucker paying for it.
Exactly. So there's a lot of issues like that waste a lot of time. We worked with another plan checker who didn't know how to read plans and kept doing our square foot takeoffs incorrectly. So I spent about an hour and a half training her one day how to do true takeoffs off of plans. And 2 years after our project
1 year
was 1 year?
1 year
Was
later.
billed, I don't know, $1,200 or $1,500
$1,100
that they forgot to ever charge us for that
A
time.
bill?
Yeah.
We got a bill
Like
for $1,100
A year after everything is said and done.
for Tracy to teach her how to read plans. It was awesome.
right?
You got a lesson like that.
It's.
I don't want
there's-
to.
She charged you for
Look,
that.
It was awesome.
I mean,
city
yeah,
did.
it was her time. Like technically, that time is something that would get charged to a project. But if you really want to work in
Wow.
good faith with people, that's not how you come back at them, especially a year later. Like, so it did. It left a lot of bad tastes in our mouth, and I still haven't recovered, as you can tell. You know,
okay, I'm gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna go one more. And then we have to
I don't know.
leave
We'll
this.
get- yeah,
You
we'll
gotta
get on a
remember,
different subject,
this
but
is a
let's
podcast.
just-
No,
It's important for the city
We
to hear.
submitted an original copy of our plans. Okay.
Do you
Here are
really wanna
plans.
tell this story?
And then I do, because it drives me crazy, because I'm the one, anyway. So we get, right? They give you back and they go, okay, we've reviewed your plans. We need this, and this changed, right? These are things that need to be altered to, but have us accept them. Great. Got that. We go through, there were like 23 things, and some of them are really small.
But
right?
let's say what
we
that
need an
takes.
exit sign above the door. I mean, some of them are really easy things.
Yeah.
But some of them are, you got to go back to your engineer. You have to recalculate things. You got to redraw them. You got to go back to your contractors, recalculate things, redraw them. Get them then all integrated and redrawn in the plans. Get the plans reprinted, resubmitted, and re-reviewed.
So we spent $7,000 or something redoing our plans. And then we go to and then you resubmit your new set of plans, right? Here are all the changes that have been made, the whole thing, blah, 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 blah. And so we did that, and they were like, "What? What? 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 and we wait, this is chewing up time. We're months, and it takes time to do all this stuff. And they're like, so they're sending them, at this point, they're sending the plans to an outside company down in Santa Rosa because there wasn't somebody to review them in Ukiah.
Yeah, I mean,
But
engineering
the person who is trained to package and ship plans was on vacation. So it was going to be like 10 days before they could do that. Right? They have somebody who's trained to package and ship plans, put them in a tube, and mail them. So I said, that's great. I'm going to drive them there. So where are they going? Because I'm like, I'm getting in the car right now. I'm going to drive them down there. So I drive the plans to Santa Rosa. I drive back. They review the plans. We get the plans back. There are 3 things that need to be changed. And I'm going through the plans and I realize, fuck, I submitted the original set of plans that we submitted the first time.
Right.
The very original set. I didn't submit the ones that we changed, that we redid and changed, because I screwed it up. I submitted the original ones.
Because you weren't trained in packaging and sending them.
And now there were only 3 things to change. So we spent $7,000 changing 25 things, and now there were only 3.
Well, but not only that, they'd
And then-
actually stamped
and then-
it to say, okay, go into construction.
And so then, right? So then, hold on. This gets even better, even better. So then I'm like, oh, do we submit the ones that actually, like, now we've been approved on something that we weren't approved on, blah, 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 the whole thing. So we get into it. We're in construction. And the contractor is saying, hey, these engineering drawings, there's no measurements on the moment frame to hold up the end of the old building, because we've got this steel frame that holds up the end of the old building. There's no measurements. I'm like, what do you mean there's no measurements? He says, well, it doesn't say how long these beams are or there's no dimensions or no measurements or no nothing. There is no engineering. But they got approved. They didn't notice, right, in the approval that actually they were not only incomplete, you couldn't have built the thing without the way the plans were from the engineer.
Yep.
And then you go like, oh, fuck. Now we got to go back to the engineer and go, hey, by the way, it was pointed out to us in construction, not during the plan checking phase, that you didn't actually do all your work.
Yeah. And just take that as one like really convoluted experience of probably 10 to 15. Right.
Of 4 years worth, right?
Yeah, 4 years worth. And what I will say, because this is 2025 and this was 2016, 17, 18, during our project, the entire planning and building department turned over. So
Must have been helpful for you guys.
Oh, it was so awesomely helpful. We were totally held hostage by it. And it revealed a lot of weakness in the city. They have one outside contractor from engineering. And, then the phase post this, we saw lots of outside engineering companies in Sacramento and ADA guys. And there was lots of, harassment that people got on projects around that afterwards. So it's not that it necessarily got better. Our head, our head building guy now was just starting in this time. So he caught the tail end of our whole project. And, it was not fun. Oh. It was not fun.
Can we rewind?
I know. Can we delete that?
Can we rewind?
No,
Let's go
because
back.
that part is important. Like we talk about this stuff a lot on the podcast and about Ukiah, about what needs to be changed, about what's great about it, what's not so great about it. Drew just bought a building downtown. There's other people that are wanting to see this place do well.
Yeah.
And it's important that people hear like how it can be, because it needs to be changed.
Yeah,
It's
I'm sure
another
you
thing
guys
that
are
needs-
familiar with Mendo Matters, like not the last community meeting, but maybe a couple months ago, kind of before the annexation got really heated up. We had a pretty good meeting, and at one point I just asked the group that was there, I said, hey, by a show of hands, how many of you would invest in property development or renewal or buy a building because you've had an idea of something you want to do or a business you want to open, but you don't because you don't want to work with the processes in the city? 80% of the hands shot up.
Yeah.
And that was really telling to me. It was even more than I thought that it would be, but I was like, wow, 80% of people who actually want to be active, involved, and renewing our community and doing some good things. hold themselves back
And have money to do
because
it.
we don't have good partners in the city to actually say, yeah, we want to work with you. We want some livelihood here. We want some renewal in our city. We want to keep our dollars here in our local community from locals who want to open businesses that employ locals. It's just, they'll say that's what they want, but
Right.
then when you're actually in the detail of it, it's really a hindrance.
Exactly. They'll come on here and like politic about how that's what they want to do and how we're easy to work with. It's going to be Johnny on the spot. The old rubber stamp would be out. And then when you actually just lift the skirt up a little bit and start poking around, I mean, how fast things come slamming down.
Yeah.
I mean, just the process to talk to the planner is simply send an email and I'll get back to you when. Oh, when I get to it.
Yeah.
It's in order of when I receive it.
Well, and
or
let alone
I feel like responding.
The penalty for ignorance, like honestly, the amount of times as a contractor, fortunately being knowledgeable in the trade, that I had to come in with my codes with here's the code and here's the subcode and here's the this, and I'm referencing all of this and here's my argument with them was phenomenal. Now, how many people who are just good-meaning people who want to do something are going to educate themselves to that point where they can actually make the argument against what's being asked of them?
Yeah.
Well, not many. So, I think we probably see a lot of people want to do it who don't know they're actually kind of being raked over the coals or told to do it in another way instead of a department that is honestly educating people and helping them make the best decision for their resources that they're going to spend putting into our community to get things up and running. Like, I would much rather it be more of an advocacy level of wanting to help people.
and
That's what we need. We desperately need that.
There's
here.
just no reason for it not to be that
Right.
way,
Yeah.
but it isn't that way, and
Yeah.
it's just it's baffling.
Yeah. Well, and in the meantime, you see Bank of America buildings still empty and, plenty of buildings
Oh,
that
there's
the city
countless.
owns that have a lot of issues. So
It's a problem, and
it's a problem.
It's nice to hear that you've worked in a bunch of other places and it's not like that there.
It's not. I mean, Sonoma
Because-
County right next door, right? Like, I'm a radical natural builder. I'm taking things in that people have never seen done, that most code officials are really skeptical of, that maybe get passed off in the international building code, but aren't standard in a lot of communities. And there isn't a department really in any of our neighboring counties that I hadn't worked with or been in front of with other weird materials or totally different systems or engineering systems that weren't curious and weren't afraid to ask the questions and force me to prove the theory and then go, wow, you just proved it. And you gave me a bunch of examples. And yeah, like, let's do it on this building. Let's see what happens. We've got like clay, earthen, shear wall buildings in Sonoma that I've worked on. And I don't know if you guys know what that means, right? Shear walls usually like all this frames, got to move with the earthquakes, got to like support the whole building, like double plastered earthen shear walls on a straw bale house that like Sonoma County was like, let's see what happens. And we've seen it go through the big earthquakes now with not a scratch or a crack. Like, they're willing to go, okay, yeah, you've tested it. You know that you have the knowledge. Let's try it. I can't do just conventional building here.
right. Instead, they say it's a historic building, and we need you to bring it up to current code. And you're kind of like, well, then it won't be historic anymore. That's kind of like the opposite of historic. So I need ADA compliant bathrooms and an elevator, and
Right, but you can restore it historically as long as you put in all the sprinklers and the risers and the
and move the door in
ramp
5
and the-
feet so that
That'll be the courthouse.
yeah.
Oh,
It's historic.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn it into a
yeah.
froyo.
Let's not go to the courthouse.
Yeah,
yet.
no, that's just giant.
Oh,
No, don't.
Okay,
We-
let's
we
talk
could go
about
off a lot of developmental issues.
let's talk about the amazing building that you did build successfully with all these challenges and what it is today.
So here we go.
Go ahead.
This is not the rewind I was going to rewind to.
Oh, what did you want to rewind
No,
to,
we'll,
Ferd?
we'll go here. So one of the things about the building was knowing that we were going to spend a lot of time in the building. We want it to be a nice building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most CrossFit boxes are in warehouse space,
Mm-hmm.
and the mats are horse stall mats, which come with the rubber comes off onto your body.
And they're
if you're in your bare
off-gassing.
feet or you're on your knees. They off gas. They smell. The buildings are not climate controlled, so it's usually
Cold.
pretty cold in the winter and pretty hot in the summer. And they don't deal with recovery. You come in, you work out, and you leave. And that's, there's probably a toilet in the corner. So we wanted to boost that up a little bit, help people recover from their workouts. So we put in a sauna, which was the part about the sauna. I like being in a sauna. Sorry, a sauna.
Do you have a co-ed sauna
Sauna.
now?
We do.
Yeah.
We have one. We have one sauna.
Only one.
It's beautiful.
And I will just prop one of our members, right? He's really trying to get all of us to train that the real way you say this word is sauna. So if you think sow, like pig, S-O-W, sauna, because he comes from the country of the sauna. So I'm just going to throw that out.
So, and then we put in a cold plunge, we do towels, everything. We want it to be really nice and clean, which is a big deal, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you're on the floor a lot, so we want a really nice,
Any
clean
gym.
building. Yeah, any gym. Well, a lot of gyms are not very clean.
Correct.
Right.
Well organized, and a place that actually that functions well. So we spent a lot of money on just air circulation, how air moves through the building. It is heated all through the winter. It's air conditioned all through the summer. Our utility bills are like $350 a month.
Yeah.
It's a very
It's a
cool,
9,300
progressive
square foot
system.
building.
Wow.
I mean, if we want, we can measure our
You need to
carbon
come out to my
reclamation.
house and redo some shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's a really cool HVAC.
Our gym utilities are cheaper than our house.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
for 9,000 square feet.
it's jamming. It
That's
works really
awesome.
well. And
You
so
got those
and we
big
like
airplane propeller fans.
We have
in
a
there
big
got
too,
the
right?
fan.
big ass fans. Let's just
Yeah.
put a shout out to big ass fans.
So we did this thing where we put the air registers on the floor, right? They're cages. They're big. They're like 6 feet tall by like 18 by 18 inches. They're giant rectangles. They're around the room. They look really weird. But they deliver cold air to the floor where you want it,
cold fresh air.
cold fresh air, rather than having it drop from the ceiling. It's actually pushed down and it filters into the floor. And then when you want to heat the building, like in the wintertime, it actually pushes the heat down to the floor where you want it, rather than trying to get hot air that rises to drop from the ceiling. So you need more, right? You
gotta
more
blow,
forced
shoot
air.
it out,
So you
force
can
it.
you can never feel, you can never hear air getting pumped into the room.
That's rad.
And then we have a recuperator on the new building, which is actually two buildings. They're not technically attached. We have a recuperator that pulls air into the lobby, in through louvers that go into the locker rooms. So you're pulling fresh air through and filtering the locker rooms. That goes up to a recuperator, which filters that air and then pulls out whatever temperature you don't want and pushes in the temperature you do want.
Wow.
And that comes back.
This is fancy, you guys.
It's super fancy. It's the building is built above a LEED standard in terms of its air quality. Air quality was really important to us. The mats we got are from this company called Humane Flooring, and there's no off-gassing in them. Like, they're really good material. The HVAC was the coolest, though. And we couldn't find, honestly, we met with a number of contractors here, and they just weren't willing to take it on because it was such new technology. We ended up working with Aaron Adams, which was great. He was totally in for the project and figuring it out. But this thing has a whole monitoring system. Like, we can track our carbon, reclamation and
Wow.
all kinds of cool stuff. And what we didn't know is how great it was going to be during COVID. So it's probably the best system we could have put in to keep just pumping fresh air and pulling
Best place
crap
to be
out of
when
it.
those lockdowns were happening, huh?
Yep, it really was. Sadly, we opened that building in 2019 and bam, COVID.
This saga continues. You guys are resilient.
Yeah, you are.
I admire and respect
Or
you for that.
Stupid. One or the other. Sometimes I question. It's
Well, it
there are
takes-
many phases we could have been like, I'm out.
It takes a little bit of
But aren't you glad
stubbornness.
that you didn't? Are you happy that you're there and you have this building and this community of people that are so awesome and amazing and changing their lives?
Don't ask questions
Yes.
you don't want to know.
Yes. You know what?
We have a
hands
great
down,
community.
we have a great community.
We have an amazing community. of people.
Amazing people walk through the door. And
The thing that really makes
Yes.
it is the community.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because no one's going to work out at a gym with a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
or maybe they will, but
But that
It
just
won't be
means
as
they're an
fun.
asshole too.
They're not having as much fun as we have.
but
Yeah.
That's for sure.
yeah, no, we definitely have a great community.
So how many classes a day do you guys have? Because I would imagine it's not like a regular gym where you just come and like, you know, you got like
Yeah.
you know, soccer moms pushing.
There's no door swipe on the.
Yeah.
We have soccer moms at 9 o'clock pushing,
Pushing
multi-hundred
weight.
pounded sleds.
Yeah.
So we got 4 classes that go 5 days a week. And then our Legends and Rebels class is 4 days a week. And we got a teens class that's 3 days a week, which is jamming. They're all jamming, really. It's cranking out.
So
We
you
have
do
yoga
probably
with
the-
Jamie 2 days a week as well.
Yeah, that's worth mentioning. You guys have a great yoga room.
Amazing yoga dance studio, sprung floor, fantastic.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the yoga room or the dance room.
We're still
the
looking for
yoga
that's
room.
the one program that really hasn't come back since COVID. Like we're still kind
Yoga.
of wish some studio teachers would come in and want to do some work there or
It's a
meetings
beautiful
or
room.
dancers or whatever's happening. It's such a gorgeous space.
We also have a really good massage room that's as soundproof as you can pretty much get a room. You know, we staggered the 2x4s on the wall so the vibration from the music in the gym didn't go through the wall as much.
Wow.
It's got soundboard on the inside and then drywall, so it's
pretty insulated from sound.
very insulated from sound. I mean, heavy barbells getting dropped down in the gym, you can hear music that's super loud, but so it's not silent, but it's a
Sounds
good
like a
body
good room to
working
take a nap in at 3
It's
o'clock.
a great room to take a nap in.
It is a
There's
great
a
room.
few really good napping spaces in the gym.
There's nothing wrong with a little nap here and there. You know?
That's for sure, man.
You got to recover.
That's for sure.
So you have an early morning class, I would imagine.
Yeah, 5:30 a.m. is a great class.
Oh,
That's right up Drew's alley.
Yeah,
I would
come
do
on in,
it.
Drew.
I might. You gave me a nice gift here.
Yeah.
What
Got
is
some
it?
good stickers from Garage Days.
Cool.
We're
I'm gonna
just
put these on and come in.
we're just at the tail end of our month long of celebrations. So every
Yeah.
Monday in October, including the first Monday in November, just yesterday, we had a dedicated workout to the different phases of development. So Garage Days were, the first one.
What was the
and-
garage day workout? Chains,
you would have
chains
loved
on
it.
the barbell. and
No. The garage, the garage,
So
right? The
sick.
garage was what, 400 square feet, and it was with equipment in it, so it was pretty tight. So what we did is we went outside, and we did. You remember the Indian run where you run in a
Yes.
line and you throw the
Throwing
ball
med
up over your
balls
head? You
behind
throw
you at
it
people.
then,
Yeah.
right? So then we did,
did that a
So
lot.
that was the warm up.
Yeah.
And our Legends and Rebels class, we had 2 lines of 8 people down the center of School Street throwing the ball up and over. I mean, it was awesome, man.
Yeah.
and they loved it. So we went down, went through the parking lot, came back. Right, because then you get the ball at the end and you have to run to the front of the line, and then you throw the ball back and you run to the front of the line. And then we did sled pushes, right? Your sled sprint where everyone, so you have a line. So the person in the front of the line would sprint with the sled as far as they could go. The minute they stopped, they were done. So full on out, 100% effort. Everybody in the back, the rest of the line was carrying 2 dumbbells. So they were doing a farmer carry
Farmer's carry,
behind, and then they would catch up to the person in the sled who was gasping for air. The person in the very back of the line had a wheelbarrow that was filled with plates and their 2 dumbbells. So, and then it would
I
rotate.
love this kind of shit, dude.
And then it
You
would
just make
rotate.
up some weird shit and throw them out there with a
'Cause we-
wheelbarrow.
Because we had to
Get
go,
a,
right?
get a whistle and just fucking
We used
go.
to, when we had people in the gym, we had to actually go down Cochrane all the way down. So we would push the sled and you'd have this line of people. And
Yeah.
you'd go around the block and then we'd wheelbarrow the whole thing back.
Yeah.
But so when you got to the sled, you put your dumbbells on the sled. So you added weight to it, and then you could change the weight from the wheelbarrow in the back. And it was just a process, and you just went through it, right?
I thought you
So-
would have took everybody out to the front and tried to break off the concrete that was in there, like we did for the Remember we lifted all the weight and it made holes in the asphalt in the front of your
Yes.
garage?
Dude,
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we remember actually having to repair that before we moved out? Yes. Yes, we do.
Yeah. I know.
I remember the first time I dropped weight and it cracked and I was like,
Cracked
Ferd.
and then started rolling, right? Because there was nothing level.
it's like, I think I just cracked the asphalt. He's like, oh yeah, I cracked it over here. Look at this. Pull the mat and it was just a big hole. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and you're
That
just
was terrible,
progressively
too.
digging the hole with the weight.
Yeah.
That was just awful.
Yeah.
So yoga, a massage room, there's a sauna there, there's cold plunge on top of all of the different classes that you do.
Yeah.
And so a membership gets you access to all the classes and
Yeah, we tried to keep it simple. So there's no introductory fee or
Yeah,
startup
we don't
fee.
charge you to sign up. We don't charge you to leave. We don't charge you for towels. We don't charge, we try not to nickel and dime people for anything.
Yeah.
Like, so if you're a member, you can come in, you can use the gym, but you not like a swipe, but you check in. So when you check in, if you're using the gym to any capacity that that it requires maintenance and money, it costs you a check-in.
Yeah, and
Got
you
it.
get a certain, there's kind of
You
3
get it.
different layers of membership. So like you can come in for 8 sessions a month, 12 sessions a month, or unlimited, whatever you want, whenever you want.
Cool.
And did I say whenever you want, whenever you want?
Whenever you
Whatever
want.
Sure did.
Whenever you want.
Just
People-
show up.
You know,
Well,
show
Well, it's not
up.
whenever you
driveway.
want. Because
All right,
it's,
all right, all
it's not
right.
whenever you want. It's whenever we're open that you want.
whenever
Yeah.
we want.
Yeah, yeah,
Whenever
yeah.
we want.
And in addition, we do have open gym hours as well. So those are kind of outside of class times.
Where people can
and,
come in and lift weights and kind of do work on their
Yeah, work their
stuff.
goats.
But we don't
Do
sell
their
open gym
PT.
memberships. We want people
Got
in the
it.
community.
Yeah.
You have to do class if you come in. You can't just come in and work out in the
Well,
gym by
let's
yourself.
just talk
Yeah.
about what CrossFit is. Like CrossFit
Yeah.
is a whole health optimization system. So if you're really coming to CrossFit, all 3 of your metabolic pathways are going to strengthen. You're going to get so much more out of the program if you're working the program. And come on, you remember the days of cherry picking? We used to talk about that with you, Carter. I mean, you can cherry pick workouts all you want. So, but you're not going to get the full benefit of the program.
Yeah.
If you're doing
Okay,
that.
so now I'm going to rewind.
Yes.
This was my other rewind, right? To go back a little bit. Starting the gym. Condition Republic worked on one thing where you were going to get fit. They didn't add the methodology, the CrossFit methodology into the gym. So then we were there that summer. I was there for 7 months. And then we went to Tahoe for 5 weeks that summer. And I ended up at South Lake Tahoe CrossFit, at South Tahoe CrossFit. And there was a games athlete up there, Delafontaine. And he was training for the games. And we became friends. And he's like, dude, you have to go take the L1 course, which I thought was
That's the CrossFit level 1
the
certification.
level 1
so you can
certification,
coach,
right? So you
right?
can coach.
Yeah.
I thought it was a weekend seminar about CrossFit.
Where they try to sell you a
Yeah,
condo.
do you guys remember EST? Like you'd go
Yeah,
to the
right.
EST program.
Yeah.
You can come anytime
you'd
you
like-
want.
That's what Ferd thought he was going to, was like the introductory, EST program. Come find out what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So that was in September, at the 21st of September or something. So I was like, oh, that's great, because this was July. I was like, oh, I looked and signed up, and I was like, that's awesome. Let's go. So I went and I got my book and read through the book, and I get there, and day 1, there's like 50 people, like jacked athletes in this group, and all of there's like 9 instructors,
And
all
you
with
and your
red shirts.
Sherpa sweater.
And I was like, and I wore my sweater. I did. I brought it with me.
Hey guys.
I was plenty warm. It was September in Sacramento. I might have been sweating a little bit. And it was in the gym of a games athlete, and the whole thing. And I'm like, day 1, I'm like, fuck,
Where am I?
who the fuck are these people? And all the instructors knew their material. They knew what they were teaching. They practiced what they were teaching. They loved what they were teaching, and the energy and information was vast. And I went back to my hotel room that night, and I was like, who the fuck are these people? Like,
Yeah,
what
can I
is
say?
this? What is this thing?
I talked to
And
him
I
on the
started
phone that
looking
night.
up the instructors, and like Katie Hogan and Miranda Oldroyd, and these people are like, they were just in the games, and they're teaching class, and I'm like, fuck, this is the real deal. These people are like, this is it. They are the elite athletes of CrossFit right now.
Yeah. He calls
And-
that night. And I interrupt and he goes, wow, you wouldn't believe where I am. And I was like, really? What's it like? He goes, these people are mind-blowing. Like, this is amazing. The information is amazing. I had no idea. Like, you could just hear him over the phone, like a whole new world of access had just opened up.
And I'm like, I have to take a test tomorrow because you got to take a test, right? You got to take a test. I got to read the fucking book.
Is this like a book test, or do you have to go out there and
No,
show them how good your
no,
shit is?
No. This is a written test. And so we go through the next day, and we go through that, and then there's a test, and I'm like, oh, I'm so nervous. It's 50 questions. You have an hour. And I was like, fuck.
No cheating.
Cheers. And I mean, the whole experience was like I couldn't believe it. And I took the test, blah, blah, blah. Like 30 people, there were 50 of us in class. Toward the end of the second day, the gym filled up. There were another 30 people. I'm like, who are they? Who are they? Like, well, they failed the test the first time they took it, and they're back to take it. And I'm like, God, fuck. Is it that hard? I'm like, what the hell? So we take the test, the whole thing. Anyway, I'm driving back from Sacramento to Ukiah, right? 2.5 hours.
Did you pass?
I did. They don't tell you for like a week or 2 weeks, whatever. But I did pass the test. But my mind is now going like, wow. Like, I've been to this other CrossFit gym, and I've seen what a real active CrossFit affiliate gym moves like and how it works. And I was there for 5 weeks, right? I became part of the family and met elite athletes in this thing who knew the methodology. They practiced the methodology. They lived it, and they shared it with everybody. And I'm driving back to Ukiah going like, fuck, the gym could be so much better. Like, this is what we need. Like, conditioner, like, it was great. Like, I really appreciated where I was. But then I was like, oh, God, this could go so much farther. Like, there is way more to be added to this experience. And I kept my mouth shut because I was like, I didn't know what to do with it, right? Because they were anti-CrossFit, and now I actually had a certification. I was like, oh, I can actually coach CrossFit. Which I wasn't like, I was like, I didn't know what to do with it. But I got my seminar, I got my information. Boy, I learned a whole bunch. And then that turned into like, whatever it was, 4 months later, 3 months later, hey, would you like to coach? And I was like, sure, I'd like to coach. So I started coaching. And then they were going to sell the gym, Condition Republic, that is. It's like, okay, so would you like to start writing the programming? I was like, okay. If we're going to buy a gym, I should probably get a taste of that. And then And February, we go to Mexico for 3 weeks on vacation. And we actually had a potential deal. So when we came back, we were going to actually buy Condition Republic and turn it into whatever we were going to turn it into. But we knew we were going to affiliate with CrossFit and start bringing that methodology and information forward. So that was how, right, this thing came forward in Ukiah, is because Dell said, hey, go take the L1. You'll learn a lot.
So why didn't you end up buying Condition Republic?
So that fell apart. Tyler and Cindy, whatever they did, and then they were moving to
Chico.
And
Well,
then,
I mean, really,
and then
the
his
reason
mom
we
took
didn't
it
buy
over.
it was
It
there was
just
just
didn't-
no there there.
Yeah.
You know,
What were you
there
buying?
wasn't an affiliation. Yeah, like it was
Wasn't-
the price
they
of the
didn't own the building.
equipment, and
There wasn't even a long-term rent.
you couldn't turn over the lease.
a lease.
Like
It was
all of
like a
that.
monthly
so there just
lease.
was no there.
There was no internet thing. There was like,
Yeah.
there was nothing to buy.
Just basically getting some weights.
There was some,
Yeah.
Here, you want some equipment?
Right.
And,
Yeah. But it was great. After that, they did affiliate, and really upped their game too, and a lot of good programs came in. And
yeah, they became CrossFit Ukiah at Condition Republic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Antonio had gone and done his thing. He was CrossFit
Oh,
Mendocino.
yeah.
yeah, and Antonio and
Antonio.
Ferd
So
were
then there were
training at
two.
Condition Republic at the same time.
Yeah. I remember he was there with us too.
Yeah.
You remember
So-
Antonio?
I remember. Yes, I do.
So
a
then
character.
there were two CrossFit
Character,
gyms in
yeah.
Ukiah, right? Then there was CrossFit Ukiah and
Remember
there was
that.
CrossFit Mendocino.
And then
And we were in the
Home
garage.
gym.
We were in the garage. Yeah,
That's
home
right.
gym. And we went to Mexico and we had a list, just like baby names, like what are we going to name him, of CrossFit gyms? Is it going to be, what's it going to be? because you got to come up with something, and you've got to like send it into CrossFit and say, hey, is this available? And they say, yes, it is. And ta-da, congratulations, you've affiliated. Right? Here's your name. And so we're in Mexico with our list of names, and we're by the pool, Tracy and I, and this guy from a group like way over there with this, it's a small like resort, all inclusive. This guy we'd never seen before with his friends, 30 feet away, leaves his group, comes over to Tracy and I. It was just the two of us standing by the pool. Kids were playing. He's like, I got to tell you this story. And he tells us a story about how the love of his life, high school sweetheart, got a very rare form of cancer and died. And he started drinking and doing drugs and went down this very dark hole and was literally on the verge of suicide. And we're looking at each other going like, what the fuck? And I mean, this is it. There was no introduction. I'm Bob. Hi, nice to meet you.
He just had to come tell you his story.
He came over and he just launched into his story.
Yeah.
And he says, and I got to this point and I realized like, I'm so ready to die. And I knew that my wife would not want this for me, that she would not approve of the way I'm behaving. So I pulled myself out of this hole and I decided I was going to create a foundation. I was going to raise money for this cancer that she got and the whole thing. And he says, and it gave me a purpose. And then I stopped drinking and, like things got better and better and better. He says, and I decided to call it the Firefly Foundation because fireflies create this light that they do it themselves, right? It's their own, it's not an environmental thing. It's not because there's a male or a female around or anything. It's like they glow from within. And that's what it took. It took my own power of my own body and will to grow and out of this hole and start this foundation. And he was the happiest guy and he was there with friends and everything. And he told us a story and he turned and he left. And we never saw him again. And we looked at each other and we were like, that is the name of the gym, CrossFit Firefly. And it was that it, right? Because when I started, I was like, yeah, I just stopped drinking. I'm like, the only way you're going to go in and you're going to do CrossFit and you're going to change your life, no matter what it is you're going to do it. Yeah. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to do it, right? What's the first thing in the 12 steps? You have to admit I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And if you can't say that, I'm an alcoholic and I need help, right? Where are you going?
Yeah.
You have to do it. You have to say, I'm going to make a difference in my own life.
Well, thanks.
And that was it. It was unbelievable, Carter. It was unbelievable. And we still go like, who was that guy?
No, there's been times that
it was the craziest thing, dude. It was the craziest thing. And it just changed in the whole purpose. Oh, and that's actually when I started for Barbell Shrug is when we were in Cancun. We were down in Mexico. And then we came back and that's when we started that program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and it was he was a great guy. We'd been in like the conversation, but it just like all of a sudden we're in the tunnel. And he needed to talk about it and we needed to hear it. Wow. And we've had a lot of history with cancer too in my family, and I've helped a number of people with cancer and helped a number of people pass. So there's also just this whole piece of it of like, wow, yeah, integration and health. Like how do we do what we can to live the best life we can right now? Yeah. And to like have some buffer against whatever life is about to throw our way. And here's this guy sharing this beautiful story about it. Years later, and I've looked up periodically, I would just get online and be like, Firefly Foundation, like where is this guy? Like, can I ever find it? Never.
Doesn't exist.
Nothing would come up. And
are you guys sure you weren't sipping on the freaking
like the
mezcal a little bit?
No, but get this.
A little wormwood in there.
Yeah.
Totally like, hey man.
Our first very luxurious vacation we gave to ourselves,
I've thought about it. I tell you the truth.
No, but listen.
It's like the Green Mile.
A few years later, my mom gets diagnosed with cancer, and I was her caretaker, and it's been an amazing 2-year journey with her before she passed. We're down in UCSF getting treated at their new, hospital down
by the Warriors.
At the new campus, yeah. Down. I'm totally
China
forgetting
Basin.
the old, China Basin, and we're in their new cancer wing, and I'm walking down this hallway. And there's this gorgeous little paintings and this very inspiring quote for cancer people to read to like keep them, feeling good. And the quote is attributed to the Firefly Foundation. And I was like, okay, like
So cool.
another
Full
good
circle.
moment, like this guy showing up again in this moment, you know, of intensity in our life. And I'm just like, I'm
What a
still like,
trip.
who is this guy?
This dude's going to come into your gym one day.
Well, so
That
that,
would
know
be
that.
that would be brilliant.
so like
That'd
that
be
whole
really
thing,
brilliant.
right? And so we affiliated that following November. We sent it in, blah blah blah. It was all final. We got the name, and then it was like, how do we bring this, right? How do you bundle all this stuff together? This new knowledge, this everything, and like deliver it. How do you deliver this whole package? And it wasn't like, hey, let's start writing a business plan and we're going to do all this stuff. It just sort of grew like a tree, you know, here's a new branch. Hey, let's try that.
Yeah.
Oh, that one broke off.
Yeah, but it also really came from the community. Like everybody who'd been working, so Home Gym went from like Carter and Ferd to Scott and Phil to Heidi to, you know, and it grew to like 35 people. And at a certain point when we decided we were really going to do it, we had this amazing built-in community that I started calling my focus group. So we would sit down and people would show up at the table and we'd go, hey, we're kind of thinking about this, or we're thinking about this kind of membership, or we want to do all of these things. And, you know, our community really fed, like everything that's grown in the business has really come from some organic process with the community, or what we felt like was needed. And I feel like, you know, the trouble now is like we don't have enough coaches. We need more coaches and people who are passionate to like teach and do the work. But if we could have, I mean, there's a number of different programs I wish we could launch. But we're only 2 people and we have a small staff and
3 children.
3 children, and a lot of people who coaching for them is their passion, but their main job is something else during the day. And, you know, we're trying to fit all the pieces, but there are so many communities in our you know, smaller communities within our area that are like, hey, would you do a class for this population? Would you do a class for this population? And the truth is none of them need to be peeled out of CrossFit. You know, any body can come do CrossFit. You know, we've worked with people with Parkinson's, spina bifida, different mobility issues, all kinds of stuff. And if you're comfortable coming into the community and just saying like, I belong here and I deserve a space in the community, like there's space for you. But that being said, you know, we've got legends and rebels because a lot of our older population were like, I don't want to be with all the young kids. Like they're focusing on something else. You know, we've got
The sound of the weights dropping hurts my ears.
or just like,
You have to slam it.
yeah. Or like my drive isn't about being a competitive athlete anymore.
Yeah.
You know, my drive is wanting to be able to stay sane and fit and get up and down off the floor. And like, and some of them are competitors in our Legends class. You've got the full range of people, but you know, they're not going through the same thing that hormonal teenagers are going through.
Sure.
And they're not going through the same thing as people still raising their kids and trying to have professional lives and just manage the chaos they're going through.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's nice to find a place that's, you know, just your own.
So what do I expect if I'm a never done CrossFit ever before and I'm really interested in coming in? What's the process for me?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are kind of nervous of CrossFit. They think that it's
so nervous,
like
yeah.
jacking heavy weights over their head, and
Yep.
they're gonna get injured.
Well, they're going to
and
get
stuff.
injured. And
3
I'll say,
million
like,
push-ups
I'm
and-
still putting it out. Like, anybody can get online and find it. But, like, there was a whole slander campaign against CrossFit from other fitness institutions. And, you know, Glassman, when he was running it, took him to task, took him to court, won, proved that there was a slander campaign. So this real image that became a really strong held negative image of CrossFit of like, people just go hard and they hurt themselves. They break their backs and they, you know, do all this stuff.
Their
like
arms snap off.
Yeah. Their arms snap off. Right. Totally. Like,
I've seen it like a bug.
just like a Barbie doll.
Yeah.
You know, that there was a slander campaign. And the truth is, in any like physical pursuits we're taking, there's a certain risk of injury, right? But
Yeah.
if
Or
you're
like
training
walking down the street.
or walking down the street, like you never know what's going to happen.
Especially in Ukiah with these fucked up roads, huh?
Yeah, exactly. So
And none of the damn sidewalks match. They're all different.
oh my goodness.
I know we should make
Love it.
everybody
Tripping over the
change.
bulb outs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so many great moments that we can take. But you know, and often we hear that that idea of CrossFit repeated. And honestly, I think it's just the excuse. It's really easy to say, I'm afraid of this thing, or this thing's going to hurt me, or I'm afraid how I might get injured. And that's a really convenient way to stay out of it.
Yeah.
Right? To not take the risk to make yourself a better person, or stronger, fitter, faster, healthier, all of that. So suffice it to say, it's available to everybody. And to start out, we have this thing we call it the NSI, or a no sweat intro. So come in for free. You spend 30 to 40 minutes with a coach. We share all the programs, give you a tour of the space, but what we really focus on is your goals. Every person has a different goal. Every person has a different body and different needs in their movement. And so we really get to learn, what people need and give them the best recommendation of how to enter. If say you're pretty traditional age and you've never done CrossFit before and you want to know how to get started, and we go through the NSI, maybe you want to focus on nutrition, maybe nutrition's not important to you. So whatever's important to you is what we're going to kind of try to meet you with education and with information and with coaching. And then we have an on-ramp program for people to establish a really strong fitness foundation in terms of movement mechanics. They will get all the kind of theory around CrossFit, so they understand the holistic aspect that's there. It's not just about getting strong muscles or becoming a beast, but you can do that if you want. And then the fourth session, they go with their coach into a class. Nice. So it's a really an educational training on helping people take more responsibility and have sound education that they can transfer into any fitness regimen in their life. Whether they stay at our gym and go into the main membership, or whether they're working out down the street on their own because that's what works for them, they can take that knowledge and just know they understand more about their movement mechanics, their safety, their functionality, and probably have been introduced to movements they've never done before, and can integrate that in their progress.
That's awesome.
Do you want to say anything else about that?
Well, if they stay in the gym, right, we teach them movement skills and mechanics of movements that we use in the gym. So when they come into a class, they've actually had one-on-one in-depth instruction in everything from how to clean to how to squat.
How to pick up weights, even.
And where to find them.
Even how to pick up weights. And then they learn that really anything you pick up is a weight, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's your kid or it's a barbell.
Or a grocery
there's
bag.
a proper way to pick it up or not pick it up. And take a risk depending on how you choose to pick it up. And then we run those on-ramps like a class. So they could be an hour, maybe they're an hour and a half. It depends. We want the person to get the information. So some people learn quicker than others. And some people have issues you have to work around. And then you learn the infinite modifications that CrossFit, that is available.
Yeah.
If you can't front rack a barbell because you have poor wrist or shoulder mobility, then let's put a dumbbell in the place of that. You can externally rotate your hand and get it in a more comfortable position. So then they learn about.
It's
all
really
those things.
scalable for everyone.
It's totally scalable for everybody, and then they learn that through the on ramp, right? You're not hard, fast, stuck in what we say. Like, hey, we're using barbells today. It's like you can use dumbbells.
Yeah.
You can modify, and you can always go lighter on your weights too, at least in the beginning, right?
Always go lighter on. So that's
more about
that's
the movement.
the point, right? Is
Yeah.
we want
Quality of movement.
people to follow a good and learn a good movement mechanic, and so they get a good feel for how a class runs during those on-ramp sessions. Then they come and they do a class with a group of people. We like them to do the class that they're going to normally come to, so they can actually meet those people. They do the class with a coach, even though the coach is being classed. So the class is being coached. So there's the
So they
head.
have like a buddy next to
They have
them
like a
that
buddy.
can,
They have
like-
a buddy. Yeah, totally. And
Like
and
it. That's a good idea.
It works out really well.
Yeah.
It works out really well. And as Tracy said, you could take that information, you could go down the street and use it down there.
Yeah.
It is not information that is specific to our gym. It's information that's specific to moving well and safely.
And your body.
Yeah.
Moving your body.
Yeah, and your body.
I mean, come on, Carter. I'm sure you still have the flexibility.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Of course,
Like-
Of course,
of course he does.
I mean, you're asking that.
Well, I'm asking
I haven't
it,
aged a day.
frankly. I mean, I'm asking it because I totally envy it. And it's something I remember in your movement. Was just
yeah.
like your joint mobility and your flexibility and your ability to get into dynamic, strong positions was phenomenal. And we might have somebody like you in class, you know, moving hundreds of pounds of weight, and somebody else right next to you with a PVC pipe.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about CrossFit is the intensity for both of you is the same.
Yeah.
You are both working your butt off at your capacity, and your transfer of the benefit of it in your own body is the same,
Yeah.
even though you're at totally different skill levels,
Totally.
you know?
What I really liked about it too was the group fitness aspect, and just the motivation from the people around you, and the fun competitiveness of it. And, you know, it was, I had never been a part of that before besides like football. It really like kind of coincided with that team aspect of like being on a team with football and being in through the workouts together and stuff like that. But like joining CrossFit, I remember being like, this is cool, dude. Everybody's like pumping each other up, and like, you know,
Yeah.
it's dope. Do you guys have any nutrition like avenues? Do you do nutrition in the building? Like if somebody wants to come in and focus on nutrition, you guys have recommendations and things like that, or what's the?
We kind of start off like, so through the NSI, we actually talk
You're
about
like,
the
quit eating
nutrition.
fucking sugar, fat ass. That's what you should do first.
Chicken, broccoli. Call me in a week.
Oh man, forget that. You know,
Chicken broccoli.
All raw.
Yeah, if you fuck it up, start over.
just juice it all.
Blend it.
If you get salmonella, you'll vomit out everything. You know, you're going to lose weight like crazy.
That's right.
But that's a big part of fitness, right? Is the
is.
nutritional aspect.
Yeah,
So-
you can't out exercise a bad diet.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we'll see people like who've been working out for a really long time, but they're like, yeah, I'm still have all this adipose tissue or my belly, or I can't get rid of this, or I can't get rid of that. You know, you can't out exercise a bad diet. But, you know, in terms of any prescriptions, like I will say generally, our theory is to give people the information, and that you have to work with people where they are, and that all of us come from really different backgrounds, you know, with our food, whether it's cultural or emotional attachments or any of that. I think one of the worst and most unhelpful things that happens, and it happens a lot now, especially with social media influencing and all of that around nutrition and body image, is that you think one path works. This is going to work for you. You're going to do this. This is going to work for you. Well, forget that. We've got to be healthy, and we have to have a healthy relationship to our food. And the last thing we want to do is create issues around relationship to food. So
And
there
it's gotta be
isn't any one
sustainable,
way
too.
for anybody. It's got to be sustainable. So we really focus on habit change.
Yeah.
And, you know, we will, like in the on-ramp program, if somebody wants to focus on nutrition, we'll have them, ask them just to be a scientist. Like, don't judge yourself. We're not going to judge you. Write down everything you're eating for this week. Give us relative amounts to let's see. And let's just look if you're even getting enough nutrition to actually support your metabolism and let your body rest, because you know where your next meal is coming from. And then let's look at if you're getting enough of the right things, right? Like if you're getting all your calorie in sodas and energy drinks and your protein is like really tiny, well, that's a pretty obvious pattern. Like you need to increase some of that protein and maybe cut out some of those processed, you know, drinks. So it's really individual for everybody. Cool. I think most people are just trying to manage their nutrition, feel better, let it be a supplement and foundation for the strength of their fitness. And yet we do have people who are really like, I'm going for competition and I really want to recomp and I really want to optimize, you know, my skeletal muscle mass and decrease my, you know, fat mass. Yeah. We have an in-body scanner, 580, which is a, you know, body comp analyzer. Whoa. And anybody can come in and do an appointment for that.
Does it shoot lasers?
it like shoots them right
it
through your
doesn't.
body.
Can I get a freaking laser beam?
It plays a fancy little song, though.
Well, the laser bounced back, fatty.
Yeah, you got it.
You are
Puts it
impenetrable.
right to
Back
you.
down to the floor with you.
But it's a cool thing just
100
to get a
burpees.
baseline, you know, and
Yeah, of
like we
course.
use that to get a baseline and to kind of help watch. And we've had it long enough now that people are starting to come in and do their second or third scans, and we're
Cool.
just totally watching very cool results.
So it's another thing with
awesome.
the on ramp. When you do that, we do a scan, so you have a baseline.
Cool.
You have a really good baseline to go from when you like begin.
Yeah, which
But this particular one, like it's got a pretty high rate of accuracy. We're the only one in a couple of counties, I think. So it is open to the public to come in and scan. And one thing I think about a machine like that is the more information you have about your health, whether you're coming to CrossFit or super into fitness or not, but you are more educated to take charge of your health. And when you go talk to your doctor and they're doing a seriously outdated BMI, calculation that is proven to be totally bunk in actually understanding what your body composition is, you can take something like this in and go, hey, here's where my real markers are. What is this pointing to in terms of my metabolic health?
Do you get on like a disc and then does it spin
Piece
you?
of paper. No,
No.
it's not that thing.
Not
This
that
sends an
thing.
electric pulse through
Yeah.
your body.
Oh,
Yeah, that one is not
No,
as,
Carter.
uh,
No.
Where is this machine?
yeah,
where's the button?
yeah.
Well, awesome, dude. I'm baffled that it's been 10 years, but I'm also like super grateful that you guys are alive and well and doing what you're doing, because it's like one of the coolest things downtown that's happening. And I hear amazing
pretty wacky
things
and
about
pretty
people
quiet.
that are members, and like I just you guys are doing
It's
awesome
amazing
shit.
how I think a lot of people just don't even know we're here, or it exists.
Yeah.
And the other thing we didn't really touch on, if we want to bring it up, is like we do a lot of community events, that are open to the public. On Veterans Day, I think this is the next one coming up, is Chad. I think, did you ever do this with us? We do a serious workout in dedication to our veterans and raise some money, mostly for veteran.
It's
suicide,
we
right?
on Tuesday on Veterans Day we're raising money for the Step Up Foundation, which was started by Chad Wilkinson's wife. He's a vet who committed suicide, and this is to raise money to help fund
Suicide awareness and prevention.
It funds therapy for veterans so that they can deal with PTSD and other things that come with, serving. Your
So you got
country.
when is that event?
It's 8 a.m. a week from today, so Veterans Day
Tuesday,
on the
November
11th.
11th.
And that's open to the public.
Yeah.
You
So
can come on.
how's that work?
You,
Like
you-
bike up?
You
Yeah.
put on your workout pants and you go
Well, that's
down
what I'm
there.
wondering. I just show up and work out there.
So the workout. So what you do is you come into the gym. You're going to come in 15 minutes early, so you get there by 7:45, so you can sign a waiver.
Okay.
The workout is what we do is we will introduce everybody because there will be a whole bunch of people there. Introduce everybody. The workout is 1,000 box step up. So you can step up onto a box 1,000 times. So here's the deal.
Hey, Drew.
There are
You had me till 1,000.
so a lot of people will split this.
Yeah.
And they will bring a friend, or there'll be 4 of them, and they'll do 250 each, right? The point is, and there can be many levels of this. You can step up to a 20-inch box. You can step onto a 4-inch plate, right? There's a lot of different things you can step up onto. And but the point is the intention to really honor our veterans.
Yeah.
It's a workout. If you do 1,000 step-ups onto a 4-inch plate, you're still doing a workout.
Yeah.
Right? A stair is 7 inches.
And
it's
again-
like walking up 1,000 stairs.
Yeah. And again, like everything
That's
is
very cool.
scalable. We've been talking about it.
Yeah.
The prescribed is that you're wearing a weight vest on a 20-inch box. Equally, like a good friend of mine came and did it last year, and he is a vet, and he's broken, and he's been at the bottom of it, and he did the full thing last year on a 6-inch box. And he now, after years of harassing him to become a CrossFitter, is slowly saying he's a CrossFitter. He's really a strong man. But, you know.
Oh, is this Dwayne?
Yeah, man.
Dude,
Dwayne.
that guy's awesome.
He's awesome.
Do you remember he came and did the cold plunges with us in our pool?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. You have like a goatee?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was in there for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was getting out.
Dude, that guy.
Everybody else was like, okay, dude, like, we're done.
Yeah,
He's like,
he's
are we?
hardcore, right? This guy,
he's
like,
dope.
you know, he lifts 515 pounds, you know, like he's a strong dude. But especially for him, you know, I think this was the first time I got him to a workout in the gym. And he doesn't like to come out on Veterans Day, right? Like, that's not an easy day. And he'll be back this year with more people. And I think he's really found a great home. And, man, the dude's doing CrossFit.
Yeah, that's rad, dude.
He's found a great community of people, right? You know,
Yeah.
if you work out alone for a long time and then all of a sudden you're working out with people and those people like support you and they, you know, they learn to love you and let's go, you know? I mean, after class, there's a group of people who throw on weighted vests. They go for a walk every day after class.
Yeah, he's one of them.
That's fun.
And he's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally, you know.
You know,
it's like,
the truth is like, I remember back in the day when it was still small, but maybe like 20, 30 people, you know, Heath Dolan said at one point, he goes, we all had a Christmas party together. He goes, this is one of the best parties I've been to. He's like, and we were sitting at his table trying to figure out why. And he said, you know, I think it's because every day we see each other at our worst and we see each other taking on some of the hardest stuff that we've done. And everybody has something, right? All of us have been through stuff in life, all of us. So when you come into that space, like, you're bringing all of who you are there and you're challenging yourself and you're encouraging each other to challenge yourselves and you're in it together in the hardest moment of some of those workouts.
Yeah.
And you just get to a different level with people of humanity. You know, it is very human.
Yeah.
It's very human.
Well, going through any kind of shit with somebody bonds them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
And, you know, the more you practice it, because, right, let's be real, this is practice in the gym.
Yeah.
But it prepares you for when it happens out in the world.
Totally.
In a different way. But in addition to that, we do have, like, we had a whole bunch of Bring a Friend, you know, Fridays recently. So many great people showed up from the community, and talk about people who were like, what am I about to take on? You know, super fun partner workouts.
playing games.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this Saturday, we've got an open house from 1 to 4 where the community is welcome to come, whether you want to just come see the building.
We're
or
not
check it
working
out.
No working out.
But we are playing games.
We're hanging
so
out.
if you like playing kooky games, come on down.
Right on.
Yeah. And then, we do a community workout Thanksgiving morning at 7 a.m. You know, so
Awesome.
Lots of different
try
community things.
to make it available to the public,
Sweet.
you know, accessible.
Cool.
Push-ups.
Get out there and Firefly.
Yeah, that's right.
CrossFit. We're going to have to go now, I feel like.
Of course we are. I'm already moving my way that way anyway, so.
Which way?
Towards the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
come on down.
not?
Cold plunge.
Cold plunge. If there's room,
Well,
I
now,
got to get Dwayne
now
out of
my
there.
You're
pool is
about to
getting
have a good
colder.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I hate it when it's summertime and that thing is all warm. I can't get in it.
And your kids are all floating on the top.
Yeah, dude.
And they're
I went in the other night and it kind of like took my breath away a little bit. And I was like, yes, dude,
Cooling
here we go.
down.
It's getting colder. So, but thank you guys for making time to come on and talk about it. I think it's really cool what you guys are doing. I love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful building, beautiful people, wonderful community, people bettering themselves.
It is a beautiful building too. So if you're listening to this, go hang out there, support their gym, and get healthy. Right, that's what it's all
Yeah.
about. Live long and prosper.
Yeah, where can people contact you? What's your
At crossfitfirefly.com. Or you can email us at crossfitfirefly@gmail.com.
You can
or
call.
you can call us at 707-380-3332. And we are on Instagram and Facebook. You can always message us there.
awesome?
But you know what we love?
Twitter.
Walking in and saying hello.
Oh, even
Walk
better.
in and say hi.
There you go.
Yeah.
The front door is on School Street, not on State Street.
Yes, that's right.
Come in.
And what are your hours? 8 to 4.
We're there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Just drop by, people.
Yep.
You know
About
where to
7
find them.
o'clock
It's
at
CrossFit Firefly.
Yeah.
Fly
Come
or
on.
fly.
Exactly.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next round. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
Good to
thank
see
you.
you guys.
Great to see you guys.
Right
Thanks.
on.
Great
Take
to
care.
talk to you.
Bye.